Welcome back, everyone, to X Games Aspen 2019. We are here at Buttermilk Mountain, just down the road from downtown Aspen. Day 3 of 4 here at X Games Aspen 2019, as we are set to kick off our second of 3 races out here. It is Para Snow BikeCross. Welcome, everyone. Jimmy Coleman in the booth. Chris Barrett sitting to my left. We have Diana Dahlgren down there on course out here this afternoon. We have 8 riders in the field out here for this 6-lap race. And coming into this race, we have a couple of standouts, that being Doug Henry is one to watch for out here. Now, he happens to be a 6-time X Games medalist, one of those being a gold medal from Supermoto back in 2005, our 3rd year when we had X Games out in Los Angeles. He also owns 4 snowcross adaptive medals. He won the demo event last year. He's definitely one to watch this afternoon, Chris.
Well, Jimmy, another guy, Will Posey. Will's just a wild man. He, 1 year ago, yesterday,
yes,
he was involved in his accident, and now he is back on a bike competing at Winter X Games. Unbelievable.
He is out here making his X Games rookie appearance. And this gentleman right here, Blair Morgan, 8 straight X Games snowcross medals, 5 of those gold between 1999 and 2006. One of the most storied snowmobile racers out there, as you can see by those stats on that graphic right there. But before we get to this race right now, we're going to learn a little bit more about Blair Morgan.
I'm from Prince Albert, Saskatchewan in Canada. I had an older brother that always had the dirt bikes, and just going to the races with him, and just something I really wanted to do.
Here you are, the champion for Canadian National Motocross, Blair Morgan. The first awesome pass for Morgan.
In the wintertime up here in Canada, I used to cross-train riding a snowmobile on a motocross track.
We heard about this guy who no one knew. He rode differently, he looked different.
He just did things that I'd never seen anyone else do on a snowmobile.
Was that snowcross's first ever heel clicker?
He definitely caught everybody's attention, but I don't think anybody seemed to threaten, till the next year.
We call this the Winter X Games, guys, but I gotta tell you, it's time to go to war.
He's winning everything, and he's doing it in this way that really attracts people to him. The fans all love him, the younger racers, they wanted to be like him. And he gets this nickname, Superman, because he's out there doing tricks on the snowmobile, and no one had ever seen that.
Morgan takes his 4th gold medal.
Shouldn't say this in front of my mom or anything like that, but I was ready to die for a win. Like, I would just put it all on the line. Funny thing about 2008 is I wasn't gonna go to the Montreal Supercross, but I was riding so well at the time, I was really confident, and I ended up going and riding really well, and just like really stupid little mistake. I just remember trying to get up, and I couldn't get up. I severed my spinal cord right through, and it's complete, so no feeling, no motor movement. It sure takes a long time to heal for something this big, mentally and physically. But I always wanted to get back on a motorcycle after my accident. I'm actually really excited for X Games this year. Kind of feels like the old days, kind of feeling like I have a purpose.
Well, he was out here last year. We were excited to see him return to the X Games, and especially again back here in 2019. By the way, that is part of a piece called X Games Being. There's a much longer video that tells the story of Blair Morgan, and I encourage you, get on over to xgames.com and check out the entire X Games Being piece on Blair Morgan. So, as we mentioned before, 8 athletes in the mix out here today. David Trujillo, Leighton Lilly, Danny Baird, Paul Thacker, Jonathan Stark, in addition to the other 3 that we profiled there at the top of the segment here. So again, Chris, how key is this whole shot going to be for these athletes to get out to an early lead?
Well, we've got some heavy hitters in this field. I saw on the starting lineup here, we've got Doug Henry on the inside. That's the same position that Mike Schultz just grabbed that whole shot from.
All right, so they're getting ready to drop the green light. And again, this whole shot is going to be key, as you saw in the adaptive race with Mike Schultz getting out to that early lead. And we are set to drop the green light here. Para Snow BikeCross is underway as they fight for the whole shot. Let's send it down to Diana in the field.
it's looking like that inside line is going to be key to getting out front and getting a gold here today. Can Doug Henry pull together a gold? It's looking like it so far, guys.
So far, right out of the gate, he jumps out to that early lead. And again, here in the Para Snow BikeCross, that is a paralysis level of an athlete that prevents the rider from standing. Again, in years past, we've run adaptive together with both classes. So here in 2019, we've split it up between adaptive and the para classes here.
You can see that roost that Posey is getting in second place. Doug Henry with a clean track in front of him. Doug, this is a brand new bike for him. Last year's demo, he had his 2009 that he's been riding quite a bit. Brand new bike this year with the new 2018 YZF 450.
Well, all three of our riders that we talked about at the top of the segment are in the top three right now. You've got Doug Henry out in that lead, followed by Will Posey, and then Blair Morgan sitting in third right now. However, just outside, you've got Leighton Lilly that is hard charging right now, and not too far behind him, you've got Jonathan Stark.
Awesome story on Leighton Lilly. Leighton is actually the current jet boat world champion.
That's insane. And again, all of these riders, they have a story, but it's not so much about the injury. It's about what they've done, how they've persevered through that, and the fact that they're all able to come back out here and that they're actually able to do something that they love. Or in some cases, some of these athletes come from other sports and they get out here and discover their love of motorsports. And it's so great to have them out here and to see them showcased here at the X Games.
Well, and I think that's what's so awesome about X Games, getting this sport involved and getting these guys back into the passionate sport that they love so much.
You know, and again, this is brand new to the X Games, really. I mean, last year, as far as adaptive is concerned, this was just a demo event. So to see this out here for its second year, and now it's a medal event, and we've got two different fields. We're going to get a yellow flag out right now. That's rider dumped over in the corner right there. So the yellow caution flags are out. While we wait to get that rider right-sided up, let's check in one more time with Diana.
From what I can see up here, Blair Morgan just hit a TEF block and then caught himself, was able to keep it on two wheels, we like to say, and then apparently down here with a yellow flag. So hopefully he can get up and get that smooth line going back again.
Well, Henry's still out in that lead, followed by Will Posey, but now, by virtue of Blair Morgan running into a tough block there, you've got Leighton Lilly sitting in the bronze medal position as of right now. And I tell you what, you look at the graphic right there, Will Posey's giving Doug Henry a bit of the run for the money right now. There's only a 3-second differential, now 4-second, almost 5-second differential, but he was gaining some ground on him.
Well, as the course deteriorates and as Doug gets into lap traffic, Will just needs to keep it close and hope for a mistake from Doug Henry.
3 laps down, 3 laps to go here in the Para Snow BikeCross final. Doug Henry, the winner of the demo event last year, out in the lead. He was out to an early lead with that hole shot, and much like we saw in the adaptive race, no one's been able to catch up to him thus far.
So incredible to see Doug. I mean, there's not a jump he's really rolling. He's hitting all of these jumps, clearing all of the big tabletops and gaps. It's just, he's ripping, he's charging.
He's got 6 total X Games medals, 1 gold, 2 silver, and 3 bronze. By the way, as I mentioned at the top of the segment, that gold medal all the way back in 2005 from Supermoto out there at X Games Los Angeles.
What really amazes me is I've spent a lot of time on a timber sled bike, and I don't know what I would do if someone told you can't put your feet down, right? I mean, every corner, it's just natural habit when you're riding a bike and you're going through a corner to put your foot down, and these guys don't have that option. And to see the confidence that Doug and all of these guys have charging into the corners is incredible.
Well, you can see, you know, you just take a look at the snow bikes and you see the modifications that they have to do. And again, going back to what I said earlier, it's about the perseverance. It's the way they come back after the injury and then they get back out here and do this. I mean, every one of these guys has such an amazing story, and I love to see these guys out here. I mean, they put so much into this all year long. Going back to Paul Thacker, by the way, you look at his Instagram feed for the last 2 months, that's all he's been talking about, are the modifications that they've been doing to his bike and whatnot, and how excited he is to come out here and be a part of this. So on the final lap, it's still Henry, Posey, and Lilly. So not much has changed after we saw Blair get hung up on the tough blocks there, and Leighton Lilly was able to slide into that bronze medal position. But Doug Henry is on his way to a Para Snow BikeCross gold medal here. And look at the separation he has managed to gain as he goes through this out here. Almost a 9-second differential. The checkered flag is out. The fist is up. Number 19 comes across the finish line and is going to claim gold out here this afternoon.
Not much has changed for Doug Henry. He's still just an absolute stud and a beast on a dirt bike.
Well, Posey will walk away with the silver, and Leighton Lilly is going to take a bronze. And again, going back to what you said at the top of the race, I mean, that's insane to me. The 1-year anniversary of Will's injury was yesterday, and the fact that he's out here doing this a year and a day later in your first ever X Games and walking out of here with a silver medal, I mean, hats off to you, Will Posey.
And hats off to all these competitors. It's so great to see him here at Aspen X Games. Beautiful course by Joe Duncan and the crew.
It's just the camaraderie between all of these athletes to get out here. And again, you know, the big story is that we've separated them up into 2 different classes. We've run them all together. In years past with adaptive, you've got the physical impairment of the upper and lower limbs. Here in the para class, it's a paralysis level event. Prevents the rider from standing, and you know, these guys are riding the same course that we're going to see later on this afternoon in the Wendy Snow BikeCross. I mean, there's no changes. This is the exact same course that we're going to run later on this afternoon. I mean, what a big deal for these guys to be out here and compete at this level.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, Doug was doing every single jump out there. I mean, that's impressive to me.
He was out there, he was hard charging, and he didn't let off the gas at all throughout the entire time. Taking a look at Blair Morgan right there. Unfortunately for him, got hung up in a tough blocks there. He was in a medal contention right there until he got tangled up. But again, great to see him out here. So as they all make their way back to the athlete staging area there, Doug taking the goggles off.
Pump.
And it's hard to tell underneath that helmet, but he is smiling. He's got a grin from ear to ear. So it's Henry, Posey, Lilly, your gold, silver, bronze out here this afternoon. What an epic day of racing for that gentleman right there. Put the gold medal around his neck, and right now we're going to send it down to Diana Dahlgren, who's going to sneak in there and get an interview with our gold medalist.
Congratulations, taking gold here, Doug Henry at the Para Snow BikeCross. A grin from ear to ear, getting the whole shot in such a smooth line the entire race.
Yeah, it was, you know, that's really what it came down to, is I think just being smooth, consistent the whole time. But, you know, I just can't say enough about my crew this year. You know, we struggled with, you know, it's always a last minute thing, and we're rushing, and, you know, everybody came through, and I could have done it, you know, on my own. So, I mean, the crew from, you know, Connecticut, the crew from Maine, the crew from all over the country, you know, there's boys all over the country right now. They're old enough, they're all on their own and stuff. So, you know, it's been a great time getting ready for this and preparing for this. And boy, it's all worth it. Getting this gold right here is something that I really, really wanted this year. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Doug Henry, our first ever Para Snow BikeCross gold medalist.
So he's going to add another one to the trophy case. That is 7 total X Games medal for him overall, and that is his second gold. But again, you know, going back to what he said, like, these guys put so much into this throughout the span of the year to get out here and showcase their skills on this biggest stage.
Yeah, I love just seeing just how involved and how passionate they still are in the sport.
Well, that's a wrap here for Para Snow BikeCross. Doug Henry walks away with the first ever Para Snow BikeCross gold medal.
Blame. Little jacked up inside the brain. I belong in some asylum. I feel like a pilot going down, but I still can't